In this video, we'll take a closer look at how to connect to your datasets and import them into Arcadia Data. Let's get started with the first step of creating visuals by connecting to your data. Start this process by clicking the Data tab in the top navigation menu. Click the New Connection button in the top left corner of the screen. This opens the Create New Data Connection window. From here, we can set up connections to different data sources that we can use to build our visuals. If you don't know what values to specify, your IT person who maintains the data source can provide the information for you. In the Create New Data Connection window, first choose the connection type that corresponds to your data source configuration. Note that the Arcadia connection is for connecting to an Arcadia Enterprise deployment. If you don't currently have an Arcadia Enterprise deployment but wish to explore it on your cluster of nodes, please email us at hello@arcadiadata.com for a trial version. If you choose SQLite, some of the information below is not needed. Type in a connection name of your choosing for this connection you're setting up. Enter the hostname or IP address and port number for your data source. Supply the username password credentials you may need for the data source you're connecting to. Depending on your configuration, you may need to specify options on the Advanced and Parameters tabs of the interface. If you do not have this information, please contact the IT owner of the data source. Click on Connect, which will create a new data connection. The new connection will appear on the left navigation menu. For now, let's just use the existing Samples connection. Click it and then click the Connection Explorer tab to see the different data tables you can access. Selecting any of the tables shows a sample set of its data. Here we are previewing the U.S. Counties table. Note that in the Arcadia Enterprise version, we can see additional column and table statistics information such as partition information, column cardinality, min-max values, and so on. To build visuals and dashboards, you must first define a dataset. A dataset is the logical representation of data as the basis for building visuals, dashboards, and applications. Some of you refer to this as the semantic layer. Datasets can refer to the contents of a single table or data from several tables in the same connection. You can create a dataset on any of the tables in your connection. For example, to create a new dataset for the census pop table, click New Dataset, either to the right of the census pop name or at the top of the screen under the main menu items. Note that depending on which button you click, the open window will differ slightly. In the New Dataset window, enter the name of the new dataset and click Create. After the dataset appears under the Dataset tab, you can enrich it by editing its attributes, adding data joins to other tables, importing supplemental data, and so on. Let us explore the dataset further and see what we can do by clicking on the dataset Population Census. This takes you to the Dataset Detail screen, which shows the dataset's base table, connection, optional description, the date of creation, etc. Let's modify the description by clicking on the pencil icon next to the field and enter in a brief description. Be sure to click Save afterwards. You can find the Fields link on the left navigation bar. Clicking on it will show the table columns. Arcadia Data categorizes the fields as dimensions and measures. Dimensions are an aspect or feature of a dataset. For example, names, locations, and dates are good examples of dimensions. Measures are quantitative data that we would like to perform statistical operations on. Typical measures are costs, counts, distances, and weights. Note that when you create a dataset, the system will make a best guess on which columns are dimensions and which are measures, and it's best to double check just to make sure they are correct. You can change this attribute for each field by clicking on the Edit Fields button. You can see that the state field is under dimensions, and the year and population fields are under measures. To change the year to a dimension, click on the Edit Fields button and then click on the indicator next to the year field. Click on Data Model below the fields link, then Show Data will show 10 rows of sampled data. One way to enrich the data is to join it with other datasets and other tables already connected in the system. On this screen, you can create joins of multiple tables. Start by clicking on the Edit Data Model button. This will show a plus sign icon in the Census Pop icon. Click on the plus sign icon to open the table browser window. Be sure to click on the plus sign only and not the link on the table name, Census Pop in this example, or else you will open a table browser window that will change the base table. As an example, if we want to see the life expectancy of a specific year, we would select the World Life Expectancy table to join it. You can now define the join condition by selecting the corresponding column from each table. Note that you can view or hide the preview of the data under its columns drop-down box by clicking on the sample data link. Here we are joining by the year columns in each table. After clicking on the Apply button, you can now see the join table and even see some sample data to verify that the join table is what you want before saving. That's all for the brief introduction on connecting your data into Arcadia Data. For more details, you can visit our online documentation available at arcadiadata.com in the section on Working with Data. Next, you can create your first dashboard while following our next video, Getting Started 3, Working with Dashboards. Thanks for watching.